You're watching the news on the hour brought to you from the Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN. I am Zubechi Frank. You are welcome. Ahead of the 2019 election, a priest of the Diocese of Abuja, Anglican Communion, Reverend Canon Simon Smart, has taken out time to commend the convener of the Not Too Young to Run bill, who made sure that the bill was passed and signed by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Reverend Canon Simon Smart made this remark while speaking on an ACNN program, Christians in Politics. According to him, the bill, Not Too Young to Run, is one of the best things that has happened in the country, particularly to the youths under the Buhari-led administration.
Not Too Young to Run bill actually is one of the best things that has happened to us in this country, particularly the youth in Nigeria. But then, permit me to cast our mind back, that politics has always been about the youth. If we go back to the 1960s, early 60s, all those who were at the helm of affairs were basically youths. So it's just that at some point, the youths are no longer coming. They went to sleep. But all of a sudden, when they look at the situations of our country, things that were going on, they were not happy. They felt the old are not handling the situations as it ought to be, and they are not meeting up with the challenges of our time. So the youth decided to come up to pursue this bill, and to God be the glory, it has been passed. So personally, to me, it's a good move. It's a good opportunity.
Meanwhile, Barrister Anozie Chinonso, an ordinand in the Diocese of Abuja, posited that age and leadership does not count. He said leadership has to do with experience, ideology, and what one has to offer.
When you talk about leadership, I believe it's all about experience, all about ideology. If I let even take it in a lecture scale, most of all, when we're in universities, you see all these students in your government and all that. You now see, maybe when you're in first year, there will be a particular administration. When you're in second year, the way you begin to compare, you now discover that the person who say that did good on your own assessment is not about age. There must be something that you see and say that this person is good. Now, bringing in the wider sense of Nigeria, I think age got nothing to do. It's all about experience and the ideology, what you have to offer.
The All Progressive Congress, APC, has released the timetable for its primaries ahead of the 2019 general election. In the timetable signed by the National Organizing Secretary of the party, Emmanuel Ibediro, the APC said the activities will commence with the sale of forms from September 5th to 10th. These will be followed by nationwide congresses on September 12th to elect delegates for other primaries except the presidential, which will be decided by direct primary. The timetable showed the presidential primary will be conducted on September 20th, while governorship primaries will be held on September 26th. The party said all aspirants for presidential, governorship, Senate and House of Representative elections should pick their forms at the party's national secretariat, while aspirants for state houses of assembly have the opinion or the option to purchase their forms, either at their respective state party secretariat or the national secretariat. All forms are to be collected and submitted on or before September 12th. The party also reviewed that the various payments for these forms should be made in full. Former Cross River Governor Donald Duke has explained why he left the People's Democratic Party (PDP). Speaking in Abuja after a meeting with the Deputy National Chairman of the Social Democratic Party (SDP), Abdullahi Ishaq, Duke said the party, where he had been a member for 20 years, had lost its values and was now a shadow of itself. Duke stated that he also left PDP to SDP because the nation was seeking for rebirth and most Nigerians were seeking something different and better, which the SDP represented. He also disclosed that he would be contesting for the position of the president on the platform of SDP and expressed confidence that though 2019 elections may be tough, he would win. On the president's refusal of assent to the amended Electoral Act bill, Duke said that there were a lot of politics around the Electoral Act. He noted that the president's refusal on the bill may not be unconnected with the issue of reordering of the election sequence. President of the Senate, Dr. Abubakar Bukola Saraki, has condemned the unwarranted search in the Abuja home of non-Nigerian Chief Edwin Clark by the police and called for an open, comprehensive investigation into the incident. Saraki, while reacting to the incident, described it as unwarranted harassment of the statesman, who is known for being very vocal in expressing his views on national issues, and stated that the incident must not be allowed to be covered up without the public knowing all the details, particularly concerning who gave the order, who signed the police search warrant, which officers executed it, and what objective was it meant to serve. Saraki reminded the government of its recent commitment to world leaders on the need to create a peaceful and conducive atmosphere necessary for a credible, free and fair election where citizens can freely exercise their franchise, devoid of intimidation, suppression and abuse of their fundamental human rights. He noted that incidents like the one in the home of Chief Edwin Clark is in conflict with the promise the government made to these world leaders. Meanwhile, the Nigerian police have apologized to Edwin Clark, an elder statesman, over the unauthorized raid of his residence in Abuja by 4 policemen. The Force spokesman, Jimo Moshood, disclosed this in a statement in Abuja. Moshood said that the police delegation to Clark's house comprised of the operations and some commissioners of police. It was reported that policemen had invaded Clark's residence after presenting a search warrant to the elder statesman. The Niger Delta leader informed journalists that nothing incriminating was found in his house. According to him, no notice was sent to him prior to the search. He said the policemen just walked in and demanded to search his house. After the incident, Ibrahim Idris, Inspector General of Police, had ordered the detention of the policemen responsible for the invasion. Moshood said the policemen acted without approval. The Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, has asked operatives of the Federal Special Anti-Robbery Squad to stop going after internet fraudsters, popularly known as Yahoo Boys. He said their area of operation covered armed robbery and kidnapping, and warned that any officer caught arresting cyber crime suspects would be sanctioned appropriately. Ibrahim Idris made this statement at the FSA's headquarters at Magbo in Abeokuta, Ogun State. The IGP was represented by the team leader of Southwest Monitoring Fact-Finding Committee on SARS Reform, DCP Adekbojulo Ilori. He said the committee had embarked on the inspection of SARS detention facilities across the Southwest states. The committee reviewed the case files of all the suspects in detention and promised to transfer all civil cases to the State Criminal Investigation Department for further investigation to decongest the detention facility. We shall now go on a short commercial break. We shall return. Please stay with us.
Ajayi Crowther University admission has commenced. Programs on offer include undergraduate, postgraduate, part-time, HND conversion, foundation and pre-degree programs in faculties of law, humanities, education, natural sciences, social sciences, and management sciences. Faculty of Engineering offers mechanical, electrical, electronics, and computer engineering. Faculty of Environmental Studies features architecture and estate management. Our tuition is affordable and payable in 3 installments.
Visit www.acu.edu.ng for online application, screening, and admission letter. Giving our state-of-the-art facilities, well-equipped libraries, decent learning environment, and distinguished lecturers. Apply now by logging on to www.acu.edu.ng or call 0814 592-0637.
Ajayi Crowther University, raising godly intellectuals.
You are welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. For more on our top stories, please visit our website at acnntv.com or youtube.com/ACNNTV. To be up to date with our news and other programs, download the ACNN app for Android from Google Play Store. Festus Keyamo, the Director of Media for the President Muhammad Buhari campaign organization, has reacted to the war of words between Vice President Yemi Osinbajo and Atiku Abubakar on restructuring of Nigeria. It would be recalled that Osinbajo, in reaction to a statement credited to Atiku faulting his stance on the restructuring of Nigeria, said the problem of Nigeria was not geographical restructuring but prudent management of national resources. The Vice President insisted that in whatever shape or form will not mean much if political leaders see public resources as an extension of their bank account. However, Atiku insisting that restructuring is a necessity, not an option, he warned the Vice President not to attempt to reverse history by saying that he spoke against geographic restructuring. But speaking on the developments, Keyamo queried why the clamor for restructuring was not mentioned while Atiku was in office as the Vice President. In a post on his Twitter page, Keyamo stated that some who pretend to be champions of restructuring today never mentioned an alphabet of that word when they were in office, and that instead of restructuring Nigeria, they were rather struggling to restructure their party in order to take control of it so as to become president of Nigeria. The Director General Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, Captain Mokhtar Usman, has said the proposed national carrier Nigeria Air will begin operations by December this year, as proposed by the federal government. Usman told journalists in Abuja that since the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority (NCAA) could deliver on the two major certificates, the Air Transport License and the Aircraft Operator's Certificate, within the 90 days stipulated by law, the airline was still on track for the December takeoff. Usman stated that criticisms about the proposed national carrier project had also reduced as most Nigerians were beginning to understand and buy into the idea. The DG noted that the project was still ongoing, adding that the government and other relevant stakeholders were working round the clock to ensure a successful takeoff. And now to foreign news. The Anglican Primate of South Sudan, Archbishop Justin Bardi Arma, has called on politicians in the country to make peace a reality and not just a paperwork. He reiterated that the peace initiatives in the country are welcome development, but that the politicians need to do more to turn peace on paper into peace on the ground. He made this known during a visit to the Anglican Communion Office in London, where he also expressed his gratitude to Intergovernmental Authority on Development and other regional bodies for their efforts to bring peace and stability back to South Sudan. He expressed optimism that the truth and willingness peace will prevail in South Sudan.
We are grateful to IGAD and all the regional bodies for the effort they are doing to bring peace and stability back to South Sudan. And we very much appreciate the recent development in the signing of the agreements in Khartoum. But as a church, we do believe that peace is not something on paper. Peace is a practical reality on the ground, which does not just come up with the signing of papers. And our own assessment as the church in South Sudan is that there is much to do to bring the political will amongst the leaders so that truth is said, and then there is a true reconciliation and the forgiveness that will give room for a real peace in South Sudan. But otherwise, political peace on paper is what we are doubting. We are very optimistic that if we take the line of truth, saying the truth, talking the truth, then that will happen. But if we continue just to put a mask of politics, then everything will just end up on paper.
Archbishop Badi Arama confirmed that the current peace talks and agreement is causing unrest in South Sudan as the people are in doubt following 2016 peace signing that actually resulted into much violence.
The people of South Sudan actually are doubting because since from the start of the peace, we learned our lesson as South Sudanese. In 2016, after the signing of peace, which was without political will, then again there was much violence. That's why we are doubting this time. Some of the parties have put their signature, and some are doubting. That really creates a real doubt within the hearts of all South Sudanese. Though we do understand that some of the parties are being forced to sign, but that is not a solution.
The Secretary General of the Anglican Consultative Council, Archbishop Josiah Ido-Ferron, has strongly condemned peddlers of fake news and people whom he alleged to be militantly presenting falsehoods about the communion. Dr. Ido-Ferron made his comments as he gave his annual report to the Standing Committee of the Anglican Consultative Council at the start of their 4-day meeting in London. He highlighted a number of areas of what he called rumors and gossip, including the decision to move the next meeting of the Anglican Consultative Council from Brazil to Hong Kong. He explained that the decision was taken after the then Primate of Brazil, Bishop Francisco de Assis de Silva, said that his province could not host the meeting because of economic, political and provincial difficulties. He also dismissed allegations that the Anglican Communion had gone back on what the primates requested at the end of their January 2016 meeting on the US-based Episcopal Church over its decision to change its canons on marriage. He explained that everything asked for in the communique has been done. The report also addressed a number of issues, including education and understanding in the communion, ecumenical dialogues, finance, growth, provincial ambition, and the state of the communion. Moving on to sports, the Nigeria Football Federation (NFF) has placed a 1-year ban from all football-related activities on Super Eagles chief coach, Salusi Yusuf. This follows the adoption of a report by the NFF Committee on Ethics and Fair Play. As contained in the statement, the committee considered the complaints by the NFF as well as the coach's defense of a video documentary in which he was seen accepting $1,000 bribe from an undercover reporter, Ghanaian Aremayewa Anas, posing as a player's agent. The NFF, in the statement by its spokesperson Demola Olajire, said it had accepted the report and approved the committee's recommendation. The coach has also been told to pay a fine of $5,000 to the federation within 3 months. So it's on that note that we draw the curtain on this edition of the News on the Hour. We want to thank you for watching. I am Zubechi Frank.